where they're suffering famine. In fact, if I send the $10, say using PayPal, which I don't have, it might not ever even get to the community. Someone along the way is certainly able to harvest that $10. And that was one of the things about those commercials. I especially remembered the actress who played Sally in the All in the Family. Actually her name was Sally Struthers. I don't remember what her name was in the series, but she used to much later do commercials where she was always in tears and asking for just 1/4 a day would help this person go to Harvard College and not be a dying person in the Sahara, a quarter a day. But I mean, those kinds of aid organizations are notorious for receiving funds from all kinds of donors, and apparently not even a dime of the dollar you give them gets to the actual target of your interests. Especially knowing that the CEOs of those organizations are millionaires that are being paid millions of dollars by the organization because they're the president of the organization.
There's a caveat to that for anybody who's listening. That doesn't mean don't donate. Just look up who you're donating to.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Save the elephants. I mean,
There's some good ones out there. You have to look.
My wife saves the elephants. She saves the whales. We collect the whole set, actually.
All the endangered species.
Oh, that's a terrible. Oh, there are so many bad jokes out there. Well, let me open this up to discussion because is everybody able to find the test? As I posted it in 2 places on Blackboard. So you should be able to find it. If not, email me. The alternative is I can email it to you. And how many of you have access to ChatGPT or some other AI source where you can ask questions like this?
I purposely don't do it. So.
You purposely don't. Well, I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing. The media is the message. When way back when we were asking, what is Sesame Strasse? No, Sesame Street. In German, it's Sesamstrasse, right? But so if you put your kids in front of the TV and they're watching Sesame Street in whatever language the TV is playing in. What are they learning? And you're thinking, Sesame Street, is teaching abierto, cerrado. Abierto, cerrado. It's teaching something, right? Here comes the interesting point. You're teaching the child to learn how to watch TV. So, okay, we're thinking, we're learning, the kids learning stuff from this particular TV show. Some TV shows are better than others, etc. Obviously, the parents make such decisions every day if they're showing the kids TV, right? But the point that's being made, and this is the Toronto school made this point. There was a group of professors in the University of Toronto, Canada, right, that pointed out the media is the message. In other words, what we're really learning from this is how to watch TV.
Didn't Chomsky say something about that too?
He most likely has, because his error was about the same time, although he was in MIT and not Toronto.
Really familiar with
But
that.
I can go back to here. Let me go back to share screen. The one I especially am familiar with is Eric Havelock. He was the father of one of my friends.
Oh, cool.
And in fact, my friend gave me a book on him. But I've also got, you could go and look at his books. I think I've mentioned his one book, The Muse Learns to Write, which is about Plato and how Plato starts writing prose and what change that meant, which essentially creates Plato's dialogues. That's the first time we have prose, essentially, where instead of in poems, teaching morals in poems, you end up having prose, and as a result, people start asking what seems to arise as a natural question: what does it mean when you say the good? What does it mean when you say friendship? What does it mean when you say love? All those dialogues are essentially questions about a particular topic, trying to define it, which came up because prose kind of requires it. And so that's one of his books. The Muse, which is a poet, learns to write prose, basically. But so writing prose is a different medium, right? And that changes the culture that's using it, right? But the real significant one here was, I guess Marshall McLuhan was probably the one that even gave us that expression, I think, in one of his books, that the medium is the message. And the idea for him was especially TV. TV is the new thing. TV is a different medium. Medium is singular, media is plural. So theoretically, if I'm saying the medium of TV, I'm treating TV as a singular collective noun, I suppose, right?
I think that what we're seeing is you can follow that trend all the way back, and it's something I'm fascinated with. That it's part of my whole thing about conceptual space. But you go back to Plato with prose, and putting it on paper changes the conversation. The medium changes the conversation, right? Then you go fast forward all the way to the printing press, and look how much that changed the conversation.
Gutenberg. Yeah.
And then radio the same, and then TV, and now the digital age. I don't think it's ever been more important to understand what sophistication in communication systems means to the overall outlook. Because look at the rampant disinformation that's out there right now, the disbelief in science and objective facts. Cognitive dissonance has probably never been ironed.
And
Now it's just cognitive dissonance.
AI creating videos of things that aren't happening with images of individuals, as if you're real. Oh my goodness, this is, happening in a faster and faster pace. When I was a kid, we didn't have the internet.
Me neither. I think that's part of what's missing, though, too. And I think that, I'm sure there's going to be some damn boomers comments said in a few houses right now. But I think that's one of the differences, too, is growing up, at least for me, in a generation between generations, I got to see a world without all that and a world with all that. Mm-hmm. And I can see how it's changed because I relatively have experienced it. I think a lot of people today, and it's not for their fault, it's because they don't know a world without it.
I asked in my other class just the other day, how many of you were around when Wikipedia first started? And no, everybody there has always had Wikipedia available to them.
brought it up in another class. There was this place called a library, and you had to use the GPS system, and I remember
It's still
all
there.
that.
It's still there. The library has transformed quite a lot, but it's still there.
But there's a lot to be said.
Usually
about
I'm the
that.
only one that's there when I'm there. I mean, apart from the people that work there.
It's really pretty cool when I'm there. But there's something to be said for all of that in context to what you were speaking about the meeting. Just think about the fact that for us, we had to wait weeks, months, or however long it took for us to find the information we were looking for. Where now it's, I just got to pull up my phone and Google it. Or ask
Oh, yeah.
ChatGPT,
Yeah, I'm still-
you know.
I'm still trying to get used to that. I'll be in class and I'll say something and I'm thinking, yeah, I wonder if such and such. You know, I can
Oh, yeah.
find out immediately. You know,
It kind of sucks. Like I've noticed that, like if you're out like with your friends and you're talking about something, you're like, oh, I wonder what this is, and they're just like, oh,
Everybody
let me
just
search it
Googles
up. I'm like, I didn't even want to know the answer. I just wanted to talk
Let's
about
discuss
it.
it.
Yeah, like, that's why we're here. It's so upsetting.
yeah,
But it's refreshing to
yeah.
hear that.
Let me just turn my avatar on and you turn your
Yeah,
avatar
why are
on.
we
We
even
start
here?
them, they have a
Virtual
conversation
space.
and I'm gonna go and
Well,
take
we
a
laugh
nap.
about that.
And I'll
My
come
kids
back
right
and
now.
find out what we said. No.
That is where we're going though. Like my kids right now, they are addicted to video games. And they're like, Dad, but I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm like, what? I mean, you're talking to them, but they don't look like that. That's a digital space, and you're barely even talking. Like, there's no discussion.
I've played, virtual golf
Right.
and had at one time 3 of us playing.
Right.
And you can talk and stuff, and what that does is it makes the game last longer
Mm-hmm.
because you're waiting for the other 2 to each hit, and then you're saying, a good shot.
Yeah.
Or, well, that really sucked. Are you going to be able to find that?
And I like that. I'm not knocking on that. I'm just saying it's not a substitute for human interaction and actual.
Well, what I've tended to discover on that is I don't want to invite them to share my game. I'm going to just keep playing. The reason I'm playing golf is because I want to actually play golf, not watch someone else play golf.
The reason I didn't do this
You know-
is because reality sucks. I don't want to wait.
All right, well, it's the end of class here. Theoretically, I'm supposed to stop, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free or email me. Quiz question.
Oh yeah.
Was going over the test and presenting the test to you, was that useful? That's a yes, no. Yes,
That's no question.
yes. No. What? Who said no?
Test for reads.
I'll.
And when does the test due?
Well, I said, before you got here, I said it's due, according to the syllabus, the 9th, which is this Saturday. But I theoretically should have posted the test at least last week or something, if I was going to require it by this Saturday. So don't worry if you're late. Although I did just go over this, and if you need, I can email you what ChatGPT said on all of this stuff. That's probably a deluge of information into your email box. If you're trying to read it on an on a whatever those little devices are that you're, I don't see. Mine doesn't do that. I have a phone. I can
Yeah.
call people. I don't even text. I
Too hard on
said
it.
no. It was going to cost more money if I had text.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine trying to actually send a text, so forget it. So I'm actually way behind.
My friends and family think I'm way behind because I don't even use social media. I can only imagine if I stop texting and stuff, they'd be like,
Yeah.
well, we're just not going to talk
Well,
anymore.
I do use Facebook. I've been using Facebook since it started.
Ugh, I
But
got
I
off of
haven't-
that, like years ago.
I haven't picked up on any of the other things.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Don't.
never tweeted. I never tweeted, and now that's X, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
X, Elon Musk.
Yeah. So, All right, well, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, das vidanya, paka,
Take it easy, sir.
bye-bye,
Bye.
see you later, alligator. Be safe out there. It's supposed to be very windy and messy.